Welcome to another episode of the Retirepreneur Podcast. I'm your host with this week's executive summary for busy entrepreneurs building their second act business. Today's episode is designed for maximum impact in minimum time. We've got a critical deep dive for you today. We're looking at some major strategic moves happening within the Retirepreneur ecosystem.
That's right. Shifts that really offer, I think, three key strategic lessons, things that apply to pretty much any experienced professional launching something new.
Exactly. We're not just reporting the news here. We want to dissect the strategy, understand what it actually means for your business roadmap.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with the first big insight. This one focuses on the strategic value of, continuous professional reinvention.
And the example here is quite powerful, isn't it?
It really is. We're talking about the founder of Retirepreneur, Kurt Rose. He recently completed his final requirements for the Master of Science in Entrepreneurship.
Right, from the University of Florida.
Yeah. And, doing that at 63 while also scaling a major platform, that's a huge investment. Time cap.
It absolutely is. And I think what's fascinating here is the signal that sends, not just generally, but specifically to you, the listener.
Okay, unpack that a bit.
Well, we often talk about reskilling, right? Or applying the experience you already have. But this feels like it goes a step further.
How so?
It highlights this idea of, let's pull it, strategic reskilling ROI for your second act. Why go for a formal degree now?
Right, what's the strategic angle?
It validates your currency. It shows you're up to date with the latest methodologies, the latest thinking. It's about staying relevant actively.
So it's not just personal growth, it's a calculated move.
Exactly. Think about it. For a retirepreneur, time is probably the most valuable asset, wouldn't you say?
No question.
So investing that kind of time into a demanding program at 63, it suggests this really deep strategic belief that, the best chapter is still ahead.
Our most successful chapter really is just beginning. That phrase comes to mind.
Precisely. And that you need the latest strategic tools to make the most of it. It really drives home that this stage isn't about slowing down. It's about continued challenge, continued reward.
That makes a lot of sense. It definitely reframes education. It's not about catching up, but maybe gaining a competitive edge.
Exactly. A strategic advantage. And if the founder is modeling this kind of investment,
it implies that complacency is maybe the biggest risk for a second act business.
Well put.
Okay, so connecting this idea of strategic investment, putting serious resources behind growth, that actually leads us really nicely into our second major insight.
Ah, yes, the big pivot.
The big news here is the strategic decision to make the Retirepreneur Hub completely free.
Yep. No credit card, no trial period, no catch, just free.
Which is, an immediate high-value thing for anyone listening. But let's look at the strategy behind it. What's the thinking?
Well, it raises a key question, doesn't it?
It does. If the content is really that valuable, we're talking full courses, roadmaps, isn't there a risk? Giving it away might devalue it in the eyes of serious users. Why give away the IP like that?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And I think it points to a very specific strategy you see sometimes in the platform economy. It's about scale.
Okay.
If you connect this to the bigger picture, this shift seems to prioritize reach, market validation, getting it into as many hands as possible over immediate revenue from sales.
So remove the friction of the paywall and go for maximum distribution.
Exactly. It's a sophisticated scaling play. They likely understand that for this audience, transitional retirees, maybe the biggest hurdle isn't always the price. Sometimes it's just overwhelm, too many choices.
Information overload.
Right. So by offering the whole package, things like the Retirepreneur Biz 201 course,
which is described as a complete business building course, right? Workbooks, audio, checklists.
Yeah, the whole thing. And the flexible work roadmap.
With vetted platforms and those crucial scam avoidance checklists.
Very important. Plus, the complete consulting services guide, helping people launch solo practices using their existing experience.
Okay, so they're basically solving a bunch of immediate problems instantly for potentially hundreds of thousands of users by removing that barrier.
That seems to be the strategy. They get their core frameworks out there, build the community, establish themselves as the resource.
And worry about monetization later, perhaps through other means.
Potentially. Or maybe the value comes from the sheer size and engagement of the community itself.
Let's touch on those resources again, because for someone listening who's pressed for time, these aren't just PDFs, are they? They're designed as tools.
Absolutely. Take the Biz 201. It's presented as a full action framework. downloadable workbooks, action checklists that's built to accelerate actually getting started.
Not just learning theory.
Right. Immediate application. Same with the flexible work roadmap, providing vetted platforms and anti-scam checklists that directly tackles the major fears people have about shifting to remote work.
Addresses the risk factor.
And the consulting guide turning decades of experience into billable services. That's a core goal for so many retirepreneurs.
So the Free Hub move signals a deeper commitment to the mission. Like, remove every single obstacle, even if it means sacrificing some upfront revenue.
That's how it looks. Sacrifice short-term revenue for long-term community density and maybe influence. It's a long game.
Okay, seeing the Free Hub as a tool for accelerated strategic application and scaling. That's a key takeaway.
Definitely.
And, that idea of accelerated scaling, of getting lots of people involved quickly, brings us straight to our third strategic insight.
Which is all about feedback loops, or maybe co-creation.
Exactly, co-creation and strategic feedback loops. The founder's been pretty clear about this, right?
Yes. The why behind making the hub free is quite explicit.
They're saying, basically, before we build the next round of valuable stuff, we need really precise data on what you, the community, need right now.
They have ideas, sure, but they want answers directly from the users.
So the immediate action item for you listening isn't just go download the free stuff. It's also provide your strategic input.
Right. There's a short, 5-minute survey inside the hub.
And they're positioning it as an invitation, really. Be part of shaping what comes next.
Which, thinking about it, raises an important question for any entrepreneur listening. How good is your own feedback loop?
Good point.
What the Retirepreneur team is doing here is, well, it's essential risk mitigation, isn't it? Building stuff based on what you think people need is expensive and often misses the mark.
Leads to low engagement, wasted effort.
Totally. So the information they're asking for in this survey, it's not superficial stuff.
What are they asking specifically?
They want to know what you're struggling with most right now. Like, what obstacles feel genuinely insurmountable in your journey?
The real friction points.
Exactly. Also, what opportunities are you most interested in? What kind of content would actually be the most valuable for your transition? And how can the community better support you?
So, pretty fundamental questions.
Hugely important. For a platform that says it's committed to solving actual needs, this kind of honest, detailed feedback is basically the engine for everything that comes next.
It ensures that their next big investment of time and resources goes directly towards solving the community's highest priority challenges.
Rather than what the creators assume those challenges are. So for you listening, spending 5 minutes on that survey, honestly, it might be the most valuable investment you make this week.
Because it helps ensure the resources actually match your second act journey.
Precisely. It's co-creation. Strategic co-creation.
It really does feel like a strategic alliance then. If you want resources that hit the nail on the head for your current struggles.
You need to articulate those struggles, clearly.
Okay, great points. Let's quickly recap these 3 core strategic lessons we've pulled from what's happening in the Retirepreneur ecosystem.
Sounds good.
First, embracing the strategic power of continuous professional reinvention. We saw that exemplified by the founder getting that master's degree. Your expertise needs to stay current, stay validated.
Keep learning, keep evolving.
Second, analyzing strategic pivots like making the hub free. This teaches us about removing friction, prioritizing massive scale, and focusing on immediate application, maybe over early monetization.
Right. Thinking about reach and impact first.
And third, prioritizing co-creation, using opportunities like that short survey to give your strategic input. Make sure the solutions being built actually solve your real-world business needs and opportunities.
Get involved in shaping the tools you need.
Exactly. Now, as you think about how these insights might apply to your own business strategy, here's maybe one final thought to chew on.
Okay.
If the most successful players in this second act space are constantly reinvesting, constantly reskilling, and even removing revenue friction to focus purely on community support and validation, what internal assumption about, say, monetization or maybe learning do you need to challenge today to unlock your next phase of growth?
That's a powerful question to consider. What needs rethinking?
Definitely something to mull over. That's your executive briefing for this week. If you found value in these insights, share this episode with fellow retirepreneurs and subscribe to the Retirepreneur newsletter at retirepreneur.com. Follow us for weekly strategic insights, and remember, your most successful chapter is just beginning. Until next week, keep building.